The last shape that we're going to deal with is a kite, and we're going to define a kite as a quadrilateral with exactly two pairs of consecutive sides being congruent. So in other words, PS is congruent to SR, and RQ is congruent to PQ. It's also important to note that there are no parallel sides. And since there are no parallel sides on our quadrilateral tree, a kite is going to go off by itself. Remember, a parallelogram had two pairs of parallel sides. A trapezoid had exactly one pair of parallel sides, and a kite has no pair of parallel sides. Some other important properties that go with a kite. This first one deals with the diagonals, and the diagonals of a kite are going to be perpendicular, meaning BD is perpendicular to AC, and I get 4 right angles involved here, and 4 triangles, 4 right triangles. The bottom one deals with one pair of opposite angles being congruent. Angle J is congruent to angle L, but not K and M. Those are not congruent. We're going to do a couple examples. Letter A tells us that we have a kite, and it wants us to find angle F, which is that one. Knowing that we're dealing with a kite, which is a quadrilateral, we know that all the angles add up to 360. So we should be able to subtract 128 and 72 from 360. And when we do that, we're going to get 160 degrees. We also know that angle F is congruent to angle H, so we're going to take 160 and divide it by 2. That would get us 80 degrees, which is going to be the measure of angle F. As far as part B goes, this is where the idea of your right triangles comes into play. It wants us to find ZY. I'm going to highlight one triangle that we're going to focus on. We know that this is a right triangle because our diagonals are perpendicular. And if I want to solve for X, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem since we know two sides. So 8 squared plus 24 squared would equal X squared, which represents ZY. You can solve this all the way down. X will come out to approximately 25.3.